We are shooting a podcast in the middle of a street. We're in central Indiana at a car show in the Mercedes area. Got hired by the Mercedes Club, and we're going to be interviewing people that are part of the club. We're going to shoot 5 podcast episodes. I got Jonathan behind the camera with me today. He's going to be DPing and helping it look good. So it's going to be a great day. The gear we have today is 3 Shure SM7 DBs. Those are the latest version of the Shure SM7B with a built-in preamp. I'm excited to test those out. I've used them a few times, but I'm going to see how they perform here in a noisy environment. My MixPre has got noise assist, and I fully expect that to take out a lot of the noise. One of the challenges we're going to have in this setting is noise, because purposely we're in the middle of a street. And we know there's going to be people, we know there's going to be all sorts of stuff happen. And that's the idea. I'm going to turn on MixAssist, which is going to have all 3 microphones mixed to a master track, which is going to make it a lot easier for the editing. We have Tentacle Timecode boxes that we're going to synchronize all the cameras together. The camera package that we have today is Panasonic cameras. We have one Panasonic Lumix S5 that we're going to use for the wide shot. And then we have 2 other Panasonics, a DVX200 and a UX180. And we're only going to use light if we absolutely have to. I don't think we're going to use light. I think we're going to be able to pick a spot right out here in the shade. So when you're shooting a podcast on the street, you have to set up your mixer on the curb. Eventually we will be civilized and have my mixer on a stand, but for now I'm setting it up on a curb. And all the cars are loading in behind me. So we can't set up in the street yet because the cars are behind me. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to get all of my timecode boxes turned on and synchronized so that we're ready to go when it's time. So in this case, I've got 5 Tentacle Sync Track E Mark IIs, and I'm just going to get these powered on and synchronized with each other. You turn on these tentacles just by pulling down on this button, and then I'm looking for it to be blinking green. It's a long press, and then it needs to be blinking green. Okay? So on my app here, you can see that I have all my Tentacle devices, and I'm going to need to synchronize them because they've been used for different things, and they just need to be all synchronized on the proper time for today. Because when you power down a Tentacle, it loses its sync. So I just hit the sync button, and then I say what frame rate I want, which today we're going to use 2997 drop frame, and then I say start. After it's all synchronized, you can see that it's no longer telling me that the devices need to be synced. It's telling me that timecode cables are unplugged. So once I get timecode cables plugged in, then we're going to be good to go. But now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 timecode devices that are all together. I'm going to power up my mixer here. And then I need to connect one of my tentacles into my mixer and synchronize the timecode on that. I have a cable that's permanently connected to the BNC port on my mixer that's just ready to receive timecode. So I'm going to plug that in. So I'm going to go into the timecode menu here. I'm going to set my frame rate to be what we're using today, which is 2997 drop frame. I'm going to go to jam, and you can see that it's picking up the Tentacle over the BNC port. I just say jam TC. Okay, so now my mixer has timecode. In theory, the sun is going to be behind us, so that's good.
That's what I'm hoping, yeah. I think it's a great spot right here.
We're setting up all the tripods, getting my audio table set up. I got two light stands that I use for my audio tables, plus all the mic stands in here. We're going to have to be kind of tight because we don't want to crowd the street too much. I mean, the idea is to have people around us. That's the look they're going for, but we don't want to crowd it too much. So we're just picking our camera positions right now. I know you've probably seen them in my other videos, but I have these Matthews laptop stands.
For the stand, yeah. Absolutely.
I usually run 2 of those because you can't have enough tabletop space on a shoot.
You're right about that.
And as soon as you put one of these up, a random producer usually finds it and puts their coffee on it or something.
Sure.
Don't mind us. We're just setting up a podcast studio in the middle of the street. Don't mind us. So the idea here is to shoot one across, one in the middle, and then another one across. The new thing they added on the SM7DB is a built-in preamp. So you can turn that on and you can run it at plus 18 or plus 28. All right, so I think we got it set up in the middle of the street. Check us out. So that way is a lot of people, and that way is a lot of people. So, you know, nothing to it. We got all 3 mics set up. We have them on external stands. I kind of like that because then you don't have table noise when people hit the table. I know it might be a visual look that some people don't like with mic stands off the table. I think it sounds better because you don't get the booming of the table as much. We've got some sandbags going on down here to make sure that the tablecloth stays nice and tight. And then we've got our 3 cameras going on back here. Jonathan's going to be on this guy. That's the DVX200. That's cross shooting the person on the left. And then this is our wide shot. The bail shot, as they say. The shot you go to if you got nothing else to do. And then I'll be looking after this shot over here while I also make sure the audio sounds good. And this is cross shooting the person on the right. We've kind of got all this gear here so that people don't walk into us. Honestly, that's part of what that is. It's just a block because there's a lot of people. The OCD kind of control part of me goes a little bananas in these situations. When you literally have set up a podcast and there's a crowd of people everywhere. People don't pay attention. I did this event last year and people don't pay attention. They just walk right in. And like right here, we got someone walking right in. So it's crazy, you know? But this is the day where I just breathe and I let my OCD go. So for timecode, I'm going into my trusty timecode sack and I am pulling out a BNC, 2 BNCs actually. I need a BNC for that camera and I need a BNC for the DVX here behind me. And then I need an 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch for the S5. Okay. So get my timecode boxes, which are right here. Okay, so you'll notice, so I just get this plugged in here. I get that plugged in. This plugged in. And then get this plugged in. And I'm just looking for green blinky lights, which tells me we're in good shape. They all got green blinky lights. Most cameras have a clearly marked area where the timecode goes in, so this says TC in out. Plug the BNC in there, just take it, put it on the Velcro up here. So on this one, you go in and you make sure that you go, first you check to make sure that your drop frame, which I am, and then you go down, make sure you're set to free run, which I am, EXT TC link, slave. Then on the top of I hit the TC set button, and then it reads out that a TC link is okay. And then what I do whenever I set time code is I take my handy time code app and I just hold it up and I just make sure. I do this whenever I set time code on a camera. I just check to make sure, and that matches. So we're going to go over and do the same on this other camera. So we've got the same exact process on this camera. It's a BNC input on the side. We come into the menu. We go into record setup. We make sure that our drop frame is set. Free run, EXT TC link, slave. Hit the TC set button on the top. Time code on the S5. A lot of these mirrorless cameras don't have a time code in. The S5 does not, so I just plug it in to the audio jack. And then what I have to do is make sure that the camera is set to mic level in. I changed the level to mic plus. And then I go and I usually make it -6. What I'm looking for is this left channel here is the audio time code that's coming off of this box. The right channel is this little microphone that's on the top of the box. So I'm just looking for a persistent level on channel 1. That's the way these timecode boxes work when they're sending audio timecode. So I'm just going to set my level so that it's persistent right at -12 on channel 1. So on these cameras I've got left and right coming in.
Us three having it.
The snake is stereo. And then this part is a headphone return. There's another end on the other side where I can plug that into my mixer and I can hear what's coming out of the headphone port. Now these SM7 DBs need phantom power. So got to make sure phantom is turned on for these. I did plug them into my mixer yesterday to test them, so I know that I was getting good level on them. But we're just going to test them in this scenario. All right, Jonathan, go ahead and test that one.
Mic 1, check, 1, 2. Mic 1, check, 1, 2.
Okay.
Mic 2, check, 1, 2. Mic 2, check, 1, 2.
Yep.
And mic 3, check, 1, 2. Mic 3, check, 1, 2. Mic 3, check, 1, 2.
Yep. Okay, sounds good. I am going to put 2 wireless transmitters on my main guys. There's 2 guys that are running the show, as you say. I'm gonna get a mic on each one of you guys just to have one.
Okay.
As a backup. Yep. I'm all about belt and suspenders, man.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone make sure their phones are not gonna ring.
I've turned mine off, which is an oddity.
Like totally off.
Totally off.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the best.
I don't know if that even is possible.
I know, it's crazy.
That's a crazy thought.
Sitting in a
So shooting a podcast in the street always presents a lot of different challenges that you have to prepare for, and sometimes you adjust on the fly. Today's conditions have been partly cloudy, so sometimes that means the sun come out and you've got to make an adjustment to your iris or neutral density filter on the fly. Making sure the cameras stay white balanced is extremely important when you're dealing with partly cloudy conditions. So a challenge is when you're dealing with people that aren't accustomed to microphones, they'll turn and do something like this and turn away from the mic and talk. So they'll turn away from the mic and you lose your audio. What you've got to do in this situation is tell the people in your podcast they've got to turn their head while also speaking into the microphone.
As the DP, why did we choose to position this way to the sun?
Well, if you shoot with your guests facing the sun, they're going to be squinting, so they'll be less engaged. They won't be able to see each other. We're attempting to use the sun as a little bit more of a fill, which is a good idea. Obviously, as the day goes on, the sun changes location, so you've got to kind of adjust to that. But our setup has been very friendly toward the sun. Now it's at a little bit more of a cross angle.
he has a car that's full of everything. The whole car is covered with gems, plastic gems. Not real
that's
gems, but just
unbelievable.
plastic, just artsy
Yeah.
things. So he's very. I don't want to say eccentric because he knew what he was looking for.
But he has a lot of one of
but he had
the kind.
Exactly. He was
That-
looking for that.
That's where it's at, and that's what draws the people, right?
It's been going great so far. A podcast in the middle of the street is always a good time. We've had 3 guests in, and it's been mostly overcast with some bright sun. It's been really good. So I have MixAssist turned on for my 3 channels that are those microphones. You'll notice that there's a green line that comes over the top of the mic that the mixer is prioritizing. And it does not completely turn down the other mics. It turns them down algorithmically. I don't exactly know what the math is, but it basically turns down the mics that are not being listened to and turns up the one mic that it is. And when more than one person is talking, it does a really good job of balancing the levels. Sometimes I need to help the fader a little bit because MixAssist doesn't completely mix it for you. You have to get your gain right, and then you have to run the faders a little bit up and down. Not a lot, but a little bit.
In Indianapolis, it's called our Fall Special. That Fall Special will take place October 2 to 4 with about 1,000 cars. Most people in central Indiana know of MixPre because of our spring auction, the Spring Classic. That is really, and no disrespect to all the other auctions, this is Dana's baby. It's the only one with Dana's name on it. The other ones say MixPre Dallas or MixPre Kissimmee or
Right.
whatever. This is Dana MixPre.
The fall auction is Dana?
No.
Okay.
Spring auction.
Spring auction. Okay. Okay.
It's called Dana's MixPre's original Spring Classic. What that meant is that the original auction that was started in 1988, he moved to the Indiana State Fairgrounds because we needed more space.
Out of my mixer, I'm running my Audio Snake into both of these cameras that have XLR ports. Again, that's just to back up. I don't need it to synchronize because I have the time code going on the cameras, but each camera is getting a stereo feed of the mix. Because I always like to have my audio recording in 2 places. Sometimes I have an extra audio recorder going here. Sometimes I have that going to the cameras. Just makes me feel better if I have it recording more in one place. Just in case I forget to hit record or something happens. So,
Dana came into the auction venue on a tractor-pulled wagon of some sort with all his grandkids. I mean, it's
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
it's
And you
not,
know why he did that? Because he can.
because he can. And we have pictures of Dana being on the wagon with the Clydesdales, but he didn't want that. He wanted something that was much simpler
Yeah,
so he could
that's
be with
great.
his grandkids.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so
So we mentioned Mercedes, and you've got the 40th auction coming up at Dana's original. I don't think people know this. You shared this with me. They think of MixPre auctions, if they're uninformed, and they think, well, they're selling 50s cars and muscle cars, etc. But where does Mercedes-Benz rank in terms of the volume of cars you sell?
either number 4 or 5. A lot of that is because of late model, because of the volume that's there. But yeah, so you start at Chevrolet, you go to Ford, and then 3, 4, 5 can vary depending on the year. But overall, over the last dozen years plus, Mercedes-Benz in the number 4 or 5 position.
So the reason I asked that question, if you have an ambition to own your first Mercedes automobile, or there's a specific class of car that you're looking for, probably be a good idea to pay attention to the MixPre website, right?
So I would say that, and also then there are collectors that we work with that are dealers that are bringing late model cars, and if you can find certain models that you're looking for, certain types of cars, certain trim packages, and you can find the right price point because they're going to cross the block on a earlier in the week schedule. So the auction in Indianapolis is 9 days. So if you come back in on Tuesday or Wednesday before the big money comes in on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's where the deals are made.
Right.
There's the trick. So go in early, know what you're shopping for, know what trim package you're looking for, and have a dollar amount you're looking for. And if you're saying the most I'm going to pay for that car is $50K, then stick at $50K.
that was a great podcast in the middle of the street. So we're wrapping up here. You can see that we've got all of our gear getting back into the cases. My car is just a little bit away. So I hope you enjoyed this look at how you would do a mobile podcast. Get out there, do your thing, find your lane, and succeed. It's the only advice I have today. We will see you in the next one.